All right. Hello, I'm Jake. Today we are going to be going over my 2009 Ford Ranger FX4. I have had a couple questions about doing like a full walk around tour, so today let's do it. So if you can't already tell by the condition of the truck, it's pretty babied. It's garage kept, so I keep it garaged. Yeah, I'll just walk around it really quick. There we go. So yeah, like I said just a minute ago, this is a 2009 Ford Ranger FX4 off-road, two-tone black and gray. And yeah, let's begin. So first things first, if you can't tell by the truck itself, this is what I would consider to be pretty heavily modified. Suspension wise, I am not super into big lifts or anything, so it's right now it just has torsion keys in the front, but I didn't do that. The previous owner did. They need to be adjusted. As you can see, it isn't exactly level, but I've just been lazy, but they're adjustable. So that's really about all it has in terms of lift wise. If any of you know anything about Rangers, sorry, there's a train going by over there. If any of you know anything about Rangers, you'll know that FX4 is like the top of the line. This is running on a 31 spline 8.8 limited slip rear differential with 456 gears, which is kind of probably the best thing about this whole truck. Aside from that, as part of the FX4 package, it is two-tone black and gray. And another part of it is, if we go inside here, we've got leather seats and a full console, but we'll talk about the interior modification. That's all stock, but we'll talk about what I've done in here when we get to that portion of it. But aside from that, we've got a 4-liter V6, the typical 4-liter single overhead cam, automatic transmission. I'm not entirely, there's numbers, I forget what the numbers are, but it's the automatic transmission that all these trucks came with. So works great. Haven't had any problems. I know people have had issues in the past, but mine's fine. This truck only has 81,000 miles on it, if you can tell by the condition. So you know, keeps it nice. Aside from that, not really any other, stock things that come with the FX4 aside from what I've listed. So, I guess for those of you who care, it does have full underbody skid plates and stuff. It is undercoated as well, because this truck did come from Canada, but a couple years ago it was all swapped over to American units and stuff. So, yeah, let's get to the modifications. So, this is quite a list, but if I can start, let's start with the obvious. Red pinstripe. That was something I decided to do. I actually didn't have that pinstripe on this truck for a while when I owned it, but I wanted to incorporate red into this because it's such a dark build, so I figured I'd find red that matches, the F and the X. So I tried my best to get this pinstripe. It's just a vinyl stripe, nothing crazy. It's just, some 3M vinyl that I got in pinstripe, and it's just a hair bit off right there, but that's, not something I'm super concerned about fixing right yet. Obviously it's got red badges, so that's something. What else did I do? Oh, back here. We'll talk about those in a minute. We've got red badges back here as well. This is actually kind of an inside joke. A couple of buddies that I go back a long ways with. On my first Ranger that I had, I put a V6 badge like this on that Ranger. And the first thing I did was, as a joke, I put that on there, and it ended up actually kind of looking cool, so I just kept it. So, yep, that's that. Let's walk around here. As I told you already, the suspension just has adjustable leveling keys in the front. Let's talk about this. These are 265, 75, 16, 31-inch BF Goodrich KO2 all-terrain tires. And for those of you who don't like using the millimeter, 265 things, these are what would essentially be 31 by 10.5 by 16. They are mounted on American Racing AR202 16 by 8 0mm offset rims, and behind those rims, which you aren't going to be able to see, there are 1.5-inch hub centric spacers. So I think if we come over, I think it gives it like the perfect amount of width. I don't like crazy width, especially since it's only leveled, so it doesn't need to be ludicrously wide or anything of that sort. I'm very much a modest builder, so and then under and behind here, you can see the little hidden secret. We've got, I painted my brake calipers red just for shits and giggles, but in here we have drilled and slotted rotors. I truthfully I've driven a lot of cool, fast cars, but I have never in my life felt brakes that work that good. These things are absolutely insane. I would recommend them on anybody's truck if you're thinking about it. They're not that expensive. One of the best things I've ever done, both maintenance and modification wise. So yeah, that's the wheel and tire setup. This I've gotten a lot of mixed reviews about, on my Instagram, which if you're interested and you're watching this video on YouTube, you may follow it right there at that two-tone FX4. You can see updates, see pictures. This is a custom built headache rack. The previous owner, as I have been saying, this was something he did. He built this rack, I have no idea how long ago, but it was on the truck when I bought it. And I like it. I personally think it adds it adds character and it makes it look kind of cool. But I've gotten mixed reviews. People say they don't like it. So, but that's just something. So I'm actually going to make a separate section of this video here for the lighting and interior modifications, because this is running pretty long. So let's move on. My favorite things to do with cars is lighting stuff. So if you can see, I have the typical, what every Ford Ranger has, the black-backed stock headlight housings. Just the ones that look like stock, but they're just black-backed instead of chrome-backed. I love these. People say I should get like those fancy expensive ones. I don't want them because I think these look perfect. Inside of them, we have 3-sided LED bulbs. I forget what company they're from, but they were like $50, so I was like, whatever, that's cool. LED corner marker lights, LED turn signals, all wired correctly, so there's no hyper flash. We've got Raptor lights up front. This was actually somebody else's idea, and I thought it was going to look like terrible, but it ended up actually looking pretty sweet. Actually, especially at night, it looks amazing, so that's cool. Down here, we have custom mounted circular LED pod lights that I had to do some custom fabrication work to get in there. They're yellow. They actually used to be white, but I used some really high quality lens wrap to turn them yellow, and I will say it's probably one of the greater ideas that I've ever had in terms of, I love the way this looks, especially at night. The light production is insane. I can see miles on the road, and the nice thing is I don't really get flashed that much because it's not ridiculous, so that's cool. Let's walk around to the back here. This right here, especially on Instagram, has sparked quite a bit of discussion, but these are Amerilite Ford Ranger taillights. These ones are the ones that I'm sure you've seen them, that are made for 93 to 97 Rangers. I had to custom fit these because of the year difference. They didn't fit, but I got them in. If anyone's curious, leave a comment. I'm happy to tell you how I did it. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but it works out. So, as you can see, there's C-style LED taillights. That's the taillight portion. In here, you can see all the LED dots. This is the brake light and turn signal. So here, I'll go flip the hazards on so you can see what I mean. But let's go in here, press the button. So if we walk over here, oops, shut the door. If we walk over here, you can see that we've got these. Oh yeah, and I should mention this is a sequential LED tailgate light bar. I guess underneath tailgate light bar. It's sequential turn signals, obviously. This is just hazards, but it's directional. So if I turn left, it goes splits in the middle and goes one way. You get what I mean. So yeah, that's that. It's also a reverse light and a brake light, so that's pretty cool. These are just stupid little things. Just little, I don't know, I just found them on Amazon. It was one of those things where I got an Amazon return, and I was like, what would be funny to do? And I just decided to do that. So it kind of makes it look cooler. Inside here, we've got LED reverse lights. You can see a common theme here. Everything's LED on this truck. Up here, we have a matching third brake light so that we can, when everything's turned off, it matches the C. And even when I press the brakes, that little thing in the middle turns on. And just kind of for added fun, a couple buddies and I, since this truck didn't ever come with the cargo lights wired up, a couple buddies and I figured out how to use that and hardwired the cargo lights to turn on. So that's pretty cool. Just kind of a random fun thing. Pretty cool. So yeah, guess it's time to do the interior. And finally, to sum up this lengthy tour of my Ford Ranger, inside. So I haven't touched the inside much. Not really something that needs to be touched. As you can see here, we have factory leather seats. I love these, super comfy. Factory full center console. It's a little messy, sorry, I got some junk around here. Factory full center console, cup holders. This comes up in here. We've got storage for stuff. The typical sketchy ass jump seats in the back, which nobody sits in. It's all my stuff. So shut this. Oh yeah. These, since I seem to have I love how carbon looks, even if it's not real. It's not like a ricer thing. I just like it better than bland plastic. If you look over here, I have carbon mirror covers, which is just, I found these online. They were really just kind of cool. Had to buy them. I also personally vinyl wrapped this. This is my first experience with vinyl wrapping. I need to redo it. I didn't really do it right, but I plan on doing that at a later date, so I'm going to redo that. But it is vinyl wrapped around. This isn't, because I think it looks better that way. And then this is, I had some extra pinstripes, so I figured, what am I going to do with it? So I just put it right there. I don't know, just for fun. Let's see. Red stripe thing there just for fun. This is a steering wheel badge sticker. It just is like a vinyl overlay, just goes over the top of it. Kind of cool. Add some more red to the inside to go with the color combination. It's vinyl wrapped over there as well, as you can see. So let's get in here. Let me zoom out really quick. There we go. In here, we've got a 7-inch Sony, I believe it's the AX5000, yes it is, AX5000 touchscreen with Apple CarPlay, which I would show you, but I have to have my phone plugged in and it wouldn't work, so. But it's there, trust me, Apple CarPlay. I love this thing. It's the greatest thing I ever did. I plan on getting a reverse camera for it eventually, but I don't have that kind of time right now, so that'll come later. As you can see as well, I have the what I would at this point consider infamous fake carbon radio bezel. I got really lucky and found somebody who was selling this, and they didn't know what it was, so I got it for really cheap because I didn't know what it was. So that's pretty cool. They didn't know that it was like kind of one of those sought after pieces. I guess if we're gonna show you the cluster, all of those lights aren't on except for the tire pressure light, because I just had my wheels done in the shop that was doing my wheels broke one of my TPMS sensors, so they ordered me new ones, but those aren't in yet. Not a problem, but all these other lights aren't on, obviously, except for the fog light. I mean, I can start the truck and show you, but so yeah, the doors are open obviously, but everything works good. And just for proof, in case you guys were not believing me, 81,852.9 miles. I don't drive a lot, so it stays pretty low. But yeah, that's pretty much the inside. Short and simple, but clean. So that's about it for the full walk around tour. I'm sorry that was such a long video, but there is a lot of, a lot of stuff to cover on this truck. I've had it for almost a year, or actually a little bit more than a year now. This is by far one of the greatest vehicles I've ever owned in my entire life. I love this thing to death. Obviously I keep it really clean, so it's definitely an attention grabber for sure out on the road. I will catch people turning their heads all the time to see it, which is cool. It's just nice to know that people take pride. People think you, what am I trying to say? People like what you take pride in. You know what I mean? So, but aside from that, really, I don't know. I covered everything about this truck. I'll do one final walk around just to give you guys a full sort of view. So there we go. And there we go. Please don't hesitate to ask any questions in the comments if you have any, or stuff I didn't cover, or stuff you want to know that I may not have talked about. Let me know, please. Happy to help you. Obviously, I know this truck inside and out. I know about all the specs, so if you're curious about mechanical specs or anything else that you want to know that I felt wasn't necessary to cover, let me know. Happy to tell you. But that's it. Follow me on Instagram at that 220FX4. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate you guys.